Alright, here's the next radio we're going to do. This is an old Zenith. It's an early 30s Zenith, and it's very collectible. You don't find them around very much at all. I got this one on eBay for $20 or something like that. It was more in shipping than it was for the radio. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tubes. It's all original. Very old-fashioned plug on it, but it's broken, unfortunately. Let's see. It's not, it would be too dangerous to try to repair it, so that is lost. It's a nice connector, nice plug, but it's just one of those situations where you don't luck out. Okay, we'll go ahead and get after it. Looks like the speaker's in good shape. First thing we'll do is we'll pull it out of the cabinet. Cabinet itself, it's got a little bit of wood separation right here, no problem whatsoever. It's a solid wood cabinet, there's no veneer. Got a little piece of asbestos right here, asbestos sheet. You don't have to go hysterical on asbestos, it's not that dangerous. If you grind it all up and breathe the dust, it's not very good for you, but just having a piece of asbestos in your hand is not going to do anywhere near as much to you as the Democrats will. Okay, the knobs are original and in good shape, and the cabinet, it's got, the front panel is veneer. The rest of the box is real wood, but the front panel is veneer, so that'll have to be taken care of. Now the top is photo veneer, and it's in bad shape, so we'll replace that with a piece of nice veneer. The bottom piece of veneer is intact. We can save that. And then this will be stripped and refinished. This will have to go. Okay, let's get it out, see what's wrong with it, and go for it. They left that rotten old line cord in there. They went in there and they recapped it, and they left that rotten old line cord in there that could short out and set the house on fire. It's a transformer set, and they did not put a fuse in there. I mean, you got some people doing this stuff. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, you don't do that. You don't do that. Hi there, little girl. You want to be on the camera? Sit still. Yeah, look up at the people. Alright. First thing we do is get rid of that cord. Whole thing is junk. I can't imagine somebody plugging that thing in. And certainly not plugging it in and leaving the room. Okay, and this is what they used as an antenna. Well, I don't like that, so it goes. Okay, we'll fix that. What this indicates is that either a whole lot has gone wrong with it, and they got rid of it, or we got a good speaker and field coil, which would be very nice, and maybe a good transformer. I don't see any tar leaking out of it. Okay, the chassis is filthy. It has to be completely sandblasted, cleaned, lacquered. I know you want to come up here, baby. You can come up here. You want to come see the radio? Oh, come on. You can see the radio. Yes, you can see the radio. Yes. Alright, I don't have time to play with you. I got to work. You can supervise. Yeah, look in there. There's people in there. Okay. Alright, one of the cords goes there and one goes there. Okay, we're going to put the fuse in this transformer wire here. Okay. Alright, let's fix a cord and put a fuse in it and see what we can do. It may work. Okay, we got a line cord here, and we'll alright, that's not going out of there. Okay. A soldering iron usually be around 700 degrees, so you can't get enough heat with a soldering iron to break through the oxide on the connection. Okay, the other one. Do this without burning my fingers. All right, that looks good. Okay, now that gets our fuse in there. Okay, this will go right like that, and the fuse will just sit right down in there. All right, this one, I don't know what it's going to take. I don't want too big a fuse, and yet I don't have a big assortment of these. This is an 800 milliamp, which should be okay. So I have to have the fuse big enough. Since I don't have any slow blow, I have to have a little bit bigger so that the surge doesn't pop it. Okay, now turn that on. Okay, there's no problem. It holds. Okay, so we'll just use that as the fuse. Okay. Well, let's see. It would be really hilarious if the darn thing actually worked. All right, let me hook a aerial. So much for their soldering job. All right, that connected down inside here somewhere. Okay, I see where it went. There's a connection here. Okay, let me hook this piece. Okay. So much for that. Okay, we're going to do the speaker first. Now that I punched a hole in the darn thing. At least we know the speaker's good and we know the output transformer is good. Alright. We take our paintbrush, and this is rubber cement, contact cement. And we just take it and paint the cone. What this does is it reinforces the paper tremendously when it dries, yet it remains totally flexible, so it doesn't affect the sound coming out of the speaker. And this little procedure can save a speaker that has a very brittle cone. This cone is from back in the 30s, early 30s, probably 1932, 33, so it is extremely brittle and needs to be coated. and just coating it with this rubber cement. That's what we do. Okay, now I'm going to go out and clean this brush. To clean the brushes and stuff of that stuff, you have to use a very strong chlorinated solvent, carbon tetrachloride or methylene chloride. Methylene chloride works real good. Alright, let's just first clean the thing up. So what we're going to do first, we'll take it out, we're going to sandblast the chassis and coat it with lacquer. Spray the transformer with black lacquer, and that's going to get the whole thing in pretty nice looking shape. Alright, you can see how nice and clean the chassis turned out sandblasting it. I missed one little place there, I'll hit it with this. It's been pouring rain out there, and my pile of sand got wet. So I only had what was in the sandblasting gun, which was not enough to really do a heck of a job on it. But it's going to do. It's good enough. Okay, it looks really nice. Alright, the next thing we got to do, we'll mask off the transformer and spray it with black to make it look new. Okay. Now, the rest of these we're going to paint with clear. So we're going to take these, and we have to mask these off because when these tube shields go on there, they have to contact. And if we spray lacquer on them, we're going to ruin the contact. So we're going to mask these off. Now, for these, we don't want lacquer to get down in the holes, so we're going to take washers and we're going to lay them on top of here while we're spraying. These got flat washers which are big enough to sit and cover the holes. Alright, now we'll take clear. Some people spray the plates of the capacitor with the lacquer too, but I don't. I generally let the plates of the capacitor stay constant. Because what I've found is that the lacquer tends to pick up dust, and you can get it to where it's got dust in there, and it's not that kosher. Oh. Okay, that's it. Alright, I figure while we're waiting for the lacquer to dry, we work on the cabinet a little bit. Okay, we got another little piece of asbestos here. Again, you don't have to go hysterical on this asbestos. It is harmless. unless you're powdering the stuff up and breathing the dust, the stuff is no different than a sheet of paper. All this hysteria is just that. It's hysteria. Okay. Now, we'll get this. We have to take this speaker grill out of here because we're going to put some new cloth. The box is really completely intact. We got one little place up here where there's a little bit of looseness. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pack some glue in there and then clamp it together, and that's going to be it. Alright, we'll remove the label and save those nails. Little Zenith label here. We'll polish that up and restore it just like we did on the other radios. Alright, and our bezel. Just pull those nails out and we save them. And that's our little bezel. We'll just buff that up and polish it and it'll be beautiful. Okay, now that gets us the radio ready to restore. Now, this piece of photo veneer here is completely disintegrated down to bare wood. So that has to be removed totally. Uh-oh. I'm going to be careful of this wood. It's a little bit disintegrating over on the side over here. Alright, pretty much does it. Okay, next we'll take some sandpaper. This is 220 and I'm just going to finish it off. Okay, completely good enough. Okay, we'll glue that one back in and that's going to have the front panel ready. Now, the rest of this we're not going to have to strip. I'm just going to liquefy the finish that's on here and leave it. Okay, the next thing to do is to glue this joint that's coming loose. Now, I'm over gluing it, putting a lot more glue than is necessary, and that makes it to where I can force it down in there with my finger. And it'll go oozing down into all the inner joints. Now, we leave that to harden. We're going to leave it overnight. Okay? Okay, we've got the cabinet completely dried in the sun, several hours, and we're just going to go ahead and lacquer it. another coat. Okay, now we've let these dry out in the sun for about 4 hours, so we're just going to go ahead and lacquer them up. I'm using urethane lacquer on them, clear urethane lacquer. Okay, well, those look beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, we'll let those dry, and they'll be ready to go on the radio. Okay, the next thing that we've got to do is get the piece of grill cloth that'll go in the front. We've got the piece of cardboard that went in there, so we need a piece that'll fit on there, and then we glue it in there. All right, let me get some grill cloth. All right. Let's see. All right, I need a sheet of newspaper so that we can spray without making a mess. Well, I'm temporarily shut down due to the work area being inhabited. Okay. When you first put it on, you just lightly put it on there because we're going to stretch it. First I have to get this paper out of the way. It's got glue on it. Just stretching it to make it very, very tight on there. We don't want it to wrinkle up. Okay. Ooh, that's beautiful. That is really nice looking there. Okay, got some little bitty tacks here. And we just reach inside. That is beautiful. That is just gorgeous. Okay. All right. That gets that. All right. Now, what we've got to do is get the chassis, put it in the box. The chassis is not sliding in far enough. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let me see what it is. Okay. Whoever put this speaker in did it incorrectly. They put the speaker on the outside. Like that, see? Okay. One more skiroo to go over there. Okay. Now, see, that gets us an extra 3/8 of an inch. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. See, and now the shaft sticks out enough to put the knobs on. Okay, I need some screws to hold the chassis in. Alright, now that gets the chassis screwed in there, and the knobs go right on there. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll plug it in and see that it works. Ah, see our lights in there? Okay. Alright, antenna. We'll hook a little antenna wire onto it.
Galaxy, Saturday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Buddy who wants it, estaba Guille Franco también. The answer. Datos por estas estadísticas. You might be tempted to do it online. Don't. Ooh, that's it. It's a big mistake right there. Especially when you've got U.S. coins sitting right there on the Katy freeway.
Takes a little bit of an antenna.
Yeah, we like U.S. coins because you could trust them. If you just didn't have a coin collection. Part of it's going to be played in a few different programs, a few different systems. He's got some college. He's got college.
All right, that's it. That is it. One beautiful little Zenith old radio. Good enough. Okay, antenna. Okay, see here? Yeah, so it's worth $50, $75, maybe more. But definitely a rare radio. All right, that's it.